Okay, salam alaikum. This is video 4. Okay, yeah. So she consumes life to give life to the children of the dead, right? The children of Mars, right? Okay, because they have to. Only the sun can give life, right? Only the sun can give life, right? No other planet in the universe can give life. Not Mars, not Jupiter, not anything. Okay, it's the sun. So she has to take the soul of the children of the light, or the children of the begotten, to give life to death, right? To Mars, the children of Mars, right? So, okay, and that's how they build their nation. And what do? When somebody is said to sell their soul, right? They can take those people, whomever they sell their soul to, okay? They can take that soul of that individual because they sold it to them. It belongs to them now, right? Let's say it belongs to the underworld. If they sell it to the let's say the proprietors in the underworld, as they would say, if they sold it to Satan or death, then that death or can take that life anytime because it belongs to them, right? Okay, so that's what Satan is supposed to do, or Saturn is supposed to do. It takes the soul of the children of the light, or the children of the sun, the only begotten, and to give it to, and that's what human sacrifice is about, to give it to the children of death, and that will be the children of Mars, right? That's the Babylonian perspective, okay? That is the Babylonian perspective, but that is not the proper perspective that is to be seen in, right? Okay, because it's the perspective of the woman as a wife and man as a husband, okay? And at the top, her throne on Saturn is to be the woman at night, right? The wife under the covers of night, right? Under the veil of night. At the top, she's the morning star, the mother, right? Okay. And at the top, he's the father on the throne at Leo, right? And across from Leo, he's Aquarius, the father, right? He'd be the father, right? Okay. He'd be the Holy Father, as Uranus was seen to be the father of all the other planets, right? Okay, so that is what we have going on there. Saturn and Venus, no, Saturn and Uranus would be the husband and wife at night. No, I did it wrong. Saturn and Uranus would be the father and mother at night, as Cancer and Leo would be, let me do it again. Uranus and Saturn would be the husband and wife at night. And Cancer and Leo would be the mother and father by day. Okay? That's how it would work. But they got it Saturn and Mars, and the children of Mars, the children of death, because they got Mars being representing death because it represents Scorpio, right? And Scorpio has a poison, right? So it represents the reptile nation, the reptile beast, as it relates to Venus falling into Mars, right? Okay. Okay. Now, okay. So, let me see. Okay. 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 Now, in the physical plane, Venus or Cancer, the Holy Mother of Christ, the Sun, right? The heart. Okay. The heart chakra, or the Sun, the Leo, right? The lion, right? The lion heart, right? In the physical plane, Venus, or at Cancer, the Holy Mother of Christ, Venus's children of the Sun, or Leo, okay, are placed at war with the sons of the fallen woman, Venus, as she is Saturn, right? Because she has to take their life to give it to Mars children, the children of death, right? Okay, so Saturn, the whore, Okay, the fallen woman is Saturn, the whore of Babylon, right? Okay. Now, who represents the whore of Babylon? The whore of Babylon is represented by a man, right? As he represents Satan. He represents the throne, right? As they try to put the man down there to represent Christ, right? Christ is born again, right? He went to the grave and he came out of the tomb at 3 days, right? He's a man down there, right? But he's the fall. That's why they call him. He's dressed in woman's clothing, right? The guy, the Pop or the Pope, okay, would represent what? Mars, right? Okay, but no, we won't go there. He won't represent Mars. He represents Satan. He represents Saturn, okay, cloaked in a woman's clothing, right? He's cloaked in the woman's clothing, okay. So he represents a whore, okay? He represents the whore. Why they got you thinking it's a woman, it's not. Because remember, they don't socialize with with women, okay? They don't. And how do they take the soul? They take the soul with their homosexuality. That's how they take the soul, right? Because they don't intercourse with a woman, right? Because they don't want the woman to take the soul. So they don't intercourse with a woman, right? So because they believe male power gives male power, right? That's why they have a president and a vice president, 2 males, right? So and even the black pope, white pope, right? 2 males, right? Because they don't want to intercourse with the fallen woman, right? Because she takes life. Saturn takes life, right? Just like the sun, the female, and Cancer is a female, and Saturn is supposed to be a female, but they have it represent a man. That's why they have it in Cronus, right? Cronus eating his children. And how does he eat the children? He takes their soul by having them intercourse with him. They intercourse with the sun intercourse with the woman at the top, that's Cancer, and intercourses with the man at the bottom, and that's how he takes the soul. Because the man and woman are supposed to intercourse, right? As Uranus and Saturn, right? As the female and the representative of the male, and in the top is Venus and Cancer and Leo, representing the male and female. But at the let's say the underworld, okay, with the Capricorn, the Tropic of Capricorn, that will be the Saturn, okay, where Saturn is, okay, that would represent Cronus, a male, right, and the male eating the child, right, and how is he eating that soul? By intercoursing with it, right, by intercoursing with it, okay, but they have you think it's a woman, but it's not a woman. It's represented by a man, right? By the Pope, right? And you don't intercourse with the Pope. You intercourse with the woman. You don't intercourse with the father. You intercourse with the mother, right? Children intercourse with their mother. They are taught by their mother, okay? As the father provides, okay? The father provides the inspiration, and the mother teaches it, okay? The mother gives it. The father provides to the mother, and the mother gives it to the children. Okay? She lectures the children. Okay? The father provides the divine inspiration to the mother, and the mother gives it to the child, right? And that's what it represents with the intercourse, right? Okay. And graduation, right? Not graduation, but yeah, graduation, intercourse, becoming the king, right? Okay. While at the bottom, the Tropic of Cancer is supposed to be right, but they have, remember, they do that, what do they do? What's that, Bohemian Grove in the summer solstice, right? In the winter solstice, they have the Christmas, right? Okay. And that's where they intercourse. And the Pope gives his little lecture and all this kind of stuff, right? You intercourse with the Pope, right? And he has his little Christmas mass, right? The Christmas, right? Where everybody gathers, right? To intercourse with the Pope, right? Well, you don't supposed to intercourse with the father. That's why the father is in female is, that's why he's the whore, right? It's a man whore. It's a brother fucking organization, right? Okay. So Satan or Saturn is represented by Kronos. It's represented by a man when it's supposed to represent by the Tropic of Cancer is supposed to be represented by a female. That's why in the Tropic of Capricorn is supposed to be represented by a woman. Okay? Okay. Okay. Because what? The moon represents a woman and Saturn represents the woman, right? Okay. 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 Saturn represents, the moon represents the mother. Saturn represents the wife, right? The wife intercoursing with now husband and wife intercoursing. She conceives a child, then as a mother and father, and then Leo and Cancer intercoursing as husband and wife. Uranus and Saturn, right? And Saturn is behind what? Saturn is behind. Uranus is behind Saturn, and at the top you have the sun and the moon together, right? Okay. 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 And at the top, that would be the Tropic of Capricorn when the sun and the moon is together. The Tropic of Cancer is the sun and the moon together. The Tropic of Capricorn is the Uranus and Saturn together, and that's the husband and the wife, mother and father at the top. But at the top they have the Bohemian Grove, man and man. The bottom they have Chris Mass, right? The man and the man, right? The man whore on the throne as Saturn, as Satan, right? The male Satan, right? He's not Saturn, he's Satan. Satan represents the male. Saturn represents the woman, okay? And Saturn is supposed to be there, represents the woman. Satan represents the male, right? The Pope. The Pope represents Satan, but the woman would represent Saturn, the beauty of Saturn, okay? But the brotherfucking Vatican represents Satan, the man having sex with man, okay? Intercoursing with man, and that's why he represents Chris Mass, giving mass, intercoursing, okay, as it's done at the top. As above, so below, right? Okay. 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 So, as we said, and then the Satan, okay, as he takes life from the children of the sun, right? As they pass, okay, as they pass in the womb, okay, because where's the war at? The war is in the womb. What did we say? Absorbing that energy that they emit at the summer solstice, right, with the Bohemian Grove, absorbing that, and then taking that soul, that taking over the soul in the womb, because it's absorbing that at that second trimester, right, and then you have that conversion of energy, right, to be born at the top, and we have increased homosexuality in the world. That's why, yes, homosexuals, many of them are born that way, okay? And because they're born that way, only Allah is the judge, okay? We can't persecute them, we can't beat them, we can't be angry at them, we can't do none of that, because many of them are angry at themselves. Many of them get angry too, okay? But they feel like they can't do anything about their life. They were born that way, so they have, only Allah can judge them. But those brother fuckers who's making it happen, they're the ones to blame, not those who are of the LGBT community. The Vatican is to blame for putting that energy out there for those fetus to absorb. Okay. And they do that intentionally, right? Because that's how they steal the soul, right? They steal the soul at Capricorn. Okay. Okay. When they put that energy out there, then they wait at that transitional point where all the energy is taken out at the winter time, right? That's when they have that they perceive themselves at Christmas time. Intercourse takes place, and they steal the soul, right? Okay. Okay. right before the child is to be born, right? Right before the child is to be born at the third trimester, right? Okay. Or the egg is to be delivered. The egg is to be laid, right? Right before Easter, okay? They steal the soul, okay? When all the energy is taken out, right? That's how they consume the soul, right? That's how they consume the soul, okay? At that point, because they have their, again, homosexual, the rituals, their brother fucking rituals, right? When it's supposed to be their brother fucking intercourse, right? And they do a lot of their rituals, their most sacred rituals, right? At the wintertime, because what do? They got the Christmas, and they got the Halloween and all that kind of stuff, right? Okay, where they got the trick-or-treating, the ghosts coming out and the spirits coming out, right? At night, right? Okay, and that's why the Halloween always takes place at night, right? The spirits come out, right? Then they have the mass for that, right? When they cross over death, right? And they celebrate, right? Okay, after they intercourse, right? At the winter solstice, right? And to try to steal the soul, right? So, and that's how they steal the soul, by intercoursing with the father, right? Rather than the man and wife intercoursing, husband and wife intercoursing, right? Rather than intercoursing with the woman, they intercourse with each other, right? Okay, so that's how they steal the soul, right? Okay, and put more negative, homosexuality out there. Okay, there's no other way to say it. Okay. Now, again, that's not to bash the homosexual community, but you homosexuals got to know how they came to be homosexuals. I'm sure you want to know. Okay, when I'm sure you're aware that homosexuality is not the orientation of the universe. You know that. Okay. Again, I'm not bashing you for it, but you do need to know how you became homosexual. There's people out there that's making people, that's putting that energy out there for the people to absorb. Okay? Now, again, it's not to bash homosexuals, because I don't want to see that. That would be very, very painful to hear, but the Vatican has to be stopped. The Vatican has to be, that pagan worship, that Babylonian spirituality has to stop, where it's affecting the humanity, okay? Now, and again, only Allah is the judge, okay? No matter how, one's religion teaches them about homosexuality, the fact of the matter is, Allah is the judge, okay? Not any of us, okay? We can't hurt anybody else, okay? And just because I'm talking about it does not mean I'm trying to hurt somebody, okay? But nonetheless, you need to know too, okay? And, but I don't want to see nobody hurt. I don't want to, Allah is the judge, okay? Not anybody, not any human being, okay? We can't hurt anybody because of their gender orientation, okay? Because many times they hurt when they, when they find out, they ask themselves why. They want to know why too, okay? Anyway, so there's a spiritual war, right? That creates a spiritual war. The children of Satan against the children of the Son, the only begotten, right? Okay. The Vatican against the world, even the LGBT community, okay, which is our community too, okay? The LGBT community is our community too, Okay, because they are of the woman's child. They are the woman's children. They are not the children of Satan. They are the woman's child. Because if they are born that way, and many of them are, they're born that way and Allah is a judge, we got to love them too. We have to love them. We have to be empathetic towards them. Okay? They've been, harmed just like the rest of us have been harmed by corrupting the energy. Okay? All of us have been harmed by the corruption of energy. Okay? When they try to program the energy to have an effect on all of us. Okay? Anyway, so there's a spiritual war, a battle to the death known as Armageddon. The complete polar opposites of life, which is Christ, and death, which is Satan, Babylon. Okay? As it relates to the two half faces of man and woman, or husband and wife. Okay? Placing her two sons, okay, at spiritual war, okay, on a spiritual war path. Now, in, let's say, when Venus falls, right, according to Babylon, when Venus falls, the only thing they use her for is breeding children, okay, breeding soldiers, warriors, right, and that breeding takes place between what? The children of, the reptilian children of Mars, right, and Venus, right, and okay, excuse me, reptilian children of Venus and Mars, okay, whose soul has been corrupted, right, okay, because it's a soul that's been stolen, right, stolen from life, right, the children from the sun. Life was stolen from the life of Venus's children were stolen, right, because life was stolen to give life to death, right, to give it to death, okay, to give it to Satan, right, okay, the new Saturn. Satan would be the new Saturn, okay, which is represented by Cronus, right? So Satan would be the new Saturn, right? Because remember that it's occupied, that just like the Holy Land is occupied. Saturn was to be occupied by what they call Satan, right? It's be occupied by the man, right? Okay. And who would be that spirit? Iblis, right? And who would represent Iblis but the Pope, right? The Pope, right? The father of that nation, right? Like Allah is the creator of humanity, Iblis would be the spiritual father of his reptilian nation, right? He'd be the spiritual father, right? Okay. Okay. So there's a war, okay, between the children of the sun and the children of Satan, okay, and as it represents Saturn, Venus, okay, at the spring the winter solstice, right? Okay. Now, so the only begotten Christ against the children, the only begotten children of Mars, right? So we're going to use the representative relates to fathers, okay? Because mother's kind of getting confused. Saturn would be the mother, or Venus as Saturn, and Venus as Cancer would be the mother of the children of the sun. Saturn would be the children of of Mars, right? The reptilian children, okay? But Saturn is not represented by Saturn. Saturn is represented by Iblis. Satan is represented by Iblis, which is supposed to represent Saturn, right? And Saturn and okay, and Saturn is to represent Venus, right? That's why the Venus looks like a what? A Baphomet, but not a Baphomet, but the star. You know, the head of the star the Baphomet head of the star, right? With the star, with the head of the goat inside the woman, the female star, right? So that would be like Iblis or Satan taking the place of the woman, which at Saturn, right? Okay, which he would be Satan, not Saturn, right? Iblis would be Satan. Iblis would be Baphomet. Okay, Iblis would be Baphomet, hiding in the woman, hiding at Saturn. Okay, hiding at the Tropic of Capricorn. Okay. So the sun's okay, and we said they're at war. Okay, Saturn, the whore of Babylon, and Saturn is the whore. Satan is the whore, perpetrating as the woman, right? And what did it say in Bible prophecy? That Satan would be perpetrated. He would be the whore would be in purple and scarlet red, right? He'd be wearing purple and scarlet red, and that's what the Vatican wears because it represents the whore. While it's trying to tell you it's hiding in the woman, right? Hiding as Miriam, hiding as the white Mary, right? Hiding as the white mother of God. But he's the mother of God, all right? The mother of the Satan God, right? Of the children of Satan, right? Okay, but as it reflects Babylon, right? Now he is what? He's the whore, right? Because he's representing the woman, right? So he's hiding in the woman, right? As Baphomet, right? As Baphomet in the star, right? I forget what the kind of star it's called, but where it has the goat's head inside of the star, right? So yeah, okay. So so the woman would be Venus in the Vatican Church, as it represents Mary, right? The Virgin. So it would represent the pale face would represent death, right? So that would be the Venus death, or the fallen woman, or the whore of Babylon. But it would also be the man who's hiding, or Satan who's hiding, using the woman, exploiting the woman, and that's why the woman is oppressed, right? The woman is oppressed. She's oppressed at what? At the Tropic of Capricorn. Okay. And that woman, the whore, is warring against the seed of the woman, right? That would be the golden children of the sun, the Christ children, right? Okay. The synagogue of Satan, right, would be the Satan. Synagogue of Satan would be at the Tropic of Cancer, would be the Vatican. Okay. That would be the children of death of Mars, right? Okay. But you can't see and it's Mars because it's supposed to be the reptile, right? Okay. And the supposedly god of war, right? Okay, the reptile. Okay. Now, so they're complete opposites. With the life as it represents Christ and death represents Satan, as it relates to the two half faces of Venus, or the Aphrodite. Okay, one white Aphrodite and one which is the whore, right? And then the black one, which would be the morning star, the evening star would be the death, right? Morning star would be life, evening star would be death, but they got it flipped upside down, where they make you think that the Vatican, the pale-faced virgin, is the good one. She's the pious one, and everybody wants to have a wife like her. Every man wants to have a wife. The closer you get to, the lighter you get in skin and pale face, the paler you get in face and complexion, the closer you get to divinity, right? Because they hide that devil up in there, right? they're hiding death up in there. What did we talk about? Life and death. We talked about life and death as it relates to the further you get up on, the further humanity evolves, right, and loses their hue, the less lifetime. It's a measurement of lifetime for humanity, right? Okay. So the pale of the face becomes the less lifetime the person has to contribute to their descendants, right? So they want you to think the more pale, the greater the greater the person's, the greater the pale of the face, right? The more you're closer to divinity, because he's up in there. Death is up in there. Death is hiding in the Vatican. Death is hiding in the Vatican. That's why they got the coffins in there. They don't bury the coffins when the popes die. They keep them in the Vatican. Death is in the Vatican. Okay? So, just like they're supposed to have a coffin of Peter up in there, right? So death is in, that's where death hides, in the Vatican. That's where Satan hides, in the Vatican. Okay? Hiding in the woman, hiding at Saturn, at the Tropic of Cancer, right? To intercourse with the baby, the male, as he passes, right? To steal their soul, right? Okay, so he can give it to what? Death, right? Give it to Mars, the children of Mars, right? Okay, okay. So it's a spiritual war, okay? So now, the only begotten, we talked about that, okay? The only begotten Christ, which is represents the Son, against the soul, against, which represents the heart, against the only begotten children of Mars, right? That's where the war is supposed to be. Life and death is at war. Saturn and Christ, or Satan and Christ, is at war, right? And that's what would be the Antichrist, right? That's why the Vatican is the Antichrist, right? Anti-life, anti-matter, right? Okay. So anti-life, anti-matter, right? Okay. Okay. Now, so and that's where it comes from, the whore of Babylon, right? Okay. So the Pope is the whore of Babylon, masking himself as a woman, in the Vatican Church, in Christ, right? Okay. In Christianity, which is the Antichrist, okay? Okay. So they're complete spiritual polar opposites, life and death, okay, as we said, as it relates to the two faces of man and the two faces of woman, or the two positions of man and the two whole divine positions of woman, okay? Okay. Now, so if they promote Venus, as I said, if they promote Venus as the, if they promote the evening star as a white, okay, woman, then they, white, like in the Mother of Christ, right? So let me look over to 5. Oh, fuck. Why did I do that? For goodness. Okay, we're going to go to video 5.